Tina, as you can see, the water project is going to take a couple months and multiple streets and businesses will be affected. The roads are going to be congested as well, so we need all your help pointing out anything that you see that looks unsafe.
Thanks, Tom. It looks like you have all the details covered. However, since I'm going to be the one explaining any issues to council, I need to make sure we aren't going to have any safety or health issues on top of the congestion and business interruptions. I understand you have a lot of new employees. So does everyone have the safety training they need, the right tools and equipment to do the job without compromising any safety? But more importantly, do you have enough time built into your schedule to do the work safely?
Yes, we're good to go for the project. Also, the street department will be picking.
Tina wasn't always this concerned about her employees' safety. In fact, until a few years ago, she thought most of the safety stuff, like all the fluorescent cones and clothing and all the procedures, were a waste of finances. She was never against working safely. It's just that she thought most jobs could be done safely if employees simply used more common sense. While Tina didn't want employees to get hurt, she also believed that accidents and property damage were just a cost of doing business. Yet a few years ago, she attended a national city managers conference. The keynote speaker was a Fortune 500 CEO who had realized just how important safety and health efforts were to not only the employees, but to the bottom line as well. The speaker went into detail on how quality loss control efforts won't only keep your workforce safe and healthy, but reduce insurance costs, prevent or reduce litigation, lower property damage costs, improve employee morale, and even reduce citizen complaints. Because of all she learned, the town wouldn't operate the same again. Surfa spends a lot of time educating our members on the value of safety, with the belief that true safety starts at the top and filters down into every part of the organization. Great managers not only support their organization's safety efforts, but actually participate in them as well. In this video, we'll cover multiple scenarios, showing supervisors in many capacities doing things that, at bare minimum, look as if they don't care about their employees' safety, or worse, behaviors and/or actions that actually cause or contribute to accidents. Of course, this video doesn't intend to paint any supervisor in a bad light, but to simply highlight the types of easily corrected situations that occur most often in the workplace. As we go along, we're going to show you a scenario that could have been handled better. After the scenario is over, you'll be prompted to pause the video, and this will allow you to discuss the scenario with your team. Some scenarios will only show one situation, while others may also show another way the situation could have been handled. Oh, and I almost forgot. If we as supervisors set the example, most employees will follow. Zach's been with the city for a little over 12 years. He's a hard worker, gets along with everyone, always works safely, and has had excellent reviews. The decision to promote Zach was an easy one for the department. Unfortunately, Zach's never been a supervisor before, and he doesn't want his friends, aka his new employees, to think he's become the safety cop, or appear like he's trying to throw his new authority in their faces.
I'm really happy you took on this new role. I think you're going to do great at your new responsibilities.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your confidence.
Hey, shouldn't Jimmy be wearing his hard hat?
Yes, absolutely. We talk about wearing hard hats whenever there's overhead hazards. And, Jimmy probably just forgot. And I'll let him know when it's just he and I. I don't want to embarrass him. Hello, this is Zach.
Hey, Zach. Jimmy just got hit in the head with one of those thick security light bulbs.
Oh, shoot, is he okay?
I think so. He has a small cut on his head that we bandaged up, and we gave him a bag of ice to put on the large purple bump on his head. And the guys are giving him a hard time, but he seems okay. He's taking it pretty well.
Okay, well, I'll be back in a few minutes. We'll take him to the doctor, have him checked out, just in case. Thanks for calling.
Here's the result of Zach's earlier choice. He was right there and didn't do anything when he saw the unsafe situation. And now Jimmy is probably going to miss a day or two of work as a precaution. Also, Zach will be down a worker, which might put him behind on projects, or at the very least, cause stress for the other workers who have to pick up the slack in Jimmy's absence. This is definitely not the best way to start his first week as a supervisor.
Listen up, guys. We want to talk about Jimmy's injury. Here you go. Oh, good catch. Hey, that can be used to cover up that ugly lump on your head. Seriously, guys, we did that to get your attention. You know, it wasn't a really serious incident, but it will be costly, and it may mean that we're not going to be able to afford those new uniform shirts that we were wanting. I walked right by Jimmy yesterday, and I saw that he didn't have a hard hat on. And I didn't want to make him mad. And I didn't want you guys to feel like I'm a different person now that I'm your supervisor. But I do need to have a different role now as your supervisor. I can't turn a blind eye when you're doing something that's unsafe.
It's pretty cool that Zach took responsibility for what happened to Jimmy. Could have easily blamed him.
Yeah, if we had the old boss, he would have blamed all of us for not doing anything.
That's true, but we all need to look out for one another. If that would have been one of our big street lamps, we'd be dividing up Jimmy's tools right now.
Hey, I ain't dead yet, so don't touch my stuff. And if you do, I'll make it look like an accident.
As you pause the video, think about the possibility of this type of scenario occurring in your workplace. Has this or something similar already happened? If so, how did the supervisor handle it? What other positive ways could this scenario have been resolved?
Hey, Dave.
Oh, hey, Creef.
We finished up the fence post. Anything else?
Oh, wow, it looks pretty nice. Yeah, just one more thing. Right here, we've got a little hazard here. I got some caution tape for you, and I got some barricades in the truck. Could you guys just set this up, and we'll take care of this. Sure. And I'm going to go let Greg know. And yeah, this shouldn't be, as long as we take care of this, this should be fine.
Cool, that'll do.
Sweet, thank you.
Yep.
Hey, Greg, can I talk to you for a second?
Hey, Dave. Man, can it wait till this afternoon?
Well,
I've really got to go.
No, it really can't. See, here's the thing. Down at the nature trail, there's some water damage, and so we've barricaded it up a little bit, but we just got to get to it. You know, it's okay. A priority thing we got to do. Okay. High priority.
I'll check it out a little bit later.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Hey, Dave.
Oh, hey, Creef. How's it going?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Hey, so, you know those barriers we put up at the,
at the nature trail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
You take care of that?
Well, apparently some of the kids came by and threw them all into the creek.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's not the bad news. Bad news is a guy came by on his bike and hit the damaged area and went over the handlebars and totally screwed himself up.
Well, I told Greg about it, and I think he was busy. He didn't have time. He said he was in a meeting.
Oh, meeting sounds like him.
So much for these safety talks.
You're telling me.
That's ridiculous.
As you pause the video, think about the possibility of this type of scenario occurring in your workplace. Has this or something similar already happened? Does Greg really not care about his employees or the citizens of the town? Or is it more likely that Greg just forgot to go and look at the hazard? Even though forgetting isn't an acceptable excuse when an accident occurs, pause the video and discuss some ways your department would address this type of hazard. Once you resume the video, we'll show you a simple tool available from SURSA that can help identify and track hazardous conditions.
Well, good morning, everyone. Glad you could all make it today.
Today we're going to talk about CERSA's new mobile application and specifically the hazard reporting tool. Most of you know that I'm stuck in the office a whole lot more, town's understaffed, spending a lot more time in meetings as probably most other towns out there are. And so I'm not out there seeing and noticing these hazards as much as I would have in the past. And so if I can convince each one of your departments to help us identify all these hazards, then what we can do is get to those hazards a whole lot faster, put in work orders a lot more efficiently, and then get these hazards corrected before claims, accidents, anything along those lines start to come in. Any questions so far? Bob?
I barely know how to use the new computer in this iPhone that you got me in. Now you want me to learn a new app?
I do.
To be fair, when he first started here, they're still using chisels and stone tablets.
He probably hasn't been around quite that long, Karif, but Bob, I promise you that if you'll let me go through everything, show you the tools, I promise you it's very simple. I think you're actually going to like how easy it is to use, how intuitive it is to use. But if when we're finished, if you just don't get it still at that point, let me know and we'll sit down one-on-one and we'll go over it again. Is that fair enough? All right. Okay. So from the home screen, open it up. And you're familiar with the safety videos and the safety tips that we've had. They're now just on the app, so you can click on any of those if you want to look at those. But for the hazard reporting tool itself, click the hazard report. It's going to open up this screen. You're going to see your name at the top here instead of mine, and then put in the date. You can put in a type, and the type is going to pull up a list of 10 different hazard categories. So just select the hazard category that's closest to whatever hazard it is that you want to put in there. This details section allows you to type in whatever information you'd like to type in about the hazard. Once you're finished, you can select a normal or high priority. After that, you can add in up to 3 sources of media. So you can put in 3 individual pictures that you've either already taken, or you can click on one of the pluses and take the picture right there. You can also enter 3 10-second videos or any combination of both of those, pictures or video. It's going to geolocate the spot that you selected or that you're standing at right at that point in time. So we're going to have a GPS location of it, so even if you don't know the exact address, we're going to be able to see it from this map that will open up. And once you're finished with that, all you have to do is either save it, so if you're somewhere where you don't have internet access, save it and you can email it later, or if you want to email it right away, go ahead and open that up, click on the To button, and at that point it's just like any other email that you sent using our email system that you've been using for a long time. So, any questions?
No. Wow, that is easy. I can definitely use that.
Great. Just let me know if you have any problems with it, and we'll go over it again if we need to. Thanks.
As you pause the video, think about the generation and knowledge gaps occurring in your workplace. Chances are older employees know more about each job task, processes, and all operations. Younger workers are usually more tech-savvy, but lack real-world work experience. To succeed, supervisors have to know how to integrate the educational process to meet the needs of all.
Amy, how's it going? Not to overstep or anything, Amy, you probably should have the proper PPE to be over here, huh?
Yeah, I know. I didn't have time to put on all the equipment. I have a bunch of candidate interviews this afternoon.
Of course.
Wanted to stop by, see how the project's going. The city manager wants an update by 3.
Sure. We're just finishing leveling this out, and it should be done in about a couple hours. Before the busy time starts on this trail. It'll be cool.
Okay, great.
But,
be safe out there.
Yeah,
do as I say, not as I do.
Right. Take care.
See ya.
All right, fellas. Well, we can turn the. Looks like all right. I guess we can fire it up again. All right. Hey Amy, how's it going?
Good. Just wanted to stop by and see how the project's going. Need to give the city manager an update by 3.
Sure. Honestly, it's going pretty well. We should have this all leveled out here pretty soon. Hey, I just wanted to say, thanks for always wearing your PPE. Like, it's a really good example, and I mean, honestly, the other supervisor or directors, they don't wear them.
Of course. I'm not above the safety rules. It's always disappointing when supervisors think they're above the rules. If you ever see me without my PPE, let me know.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
Also, I'll say something to the city manager and the safety committee. Anonymously, of course.
Sure.
But if we have managers and supervisors that are not wearing PPE, we need to address that before someone gets hurt.
Yeah, well, thank you a lot. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
Have a good one.
This exact scenario, along with management not participating in the training they require their employees to attend, are two of the most common complaints amongst employees. As supervisors, directors, and managers, we have to make time to not only participate in our safety programs, but to promote them, and most importantly, set the example for them. As you pause the video, use the time to openly and objectively discuss these issues amongst your teams. There are many alternatives to attending training and or wearing PPE. Discussion points could be supervisors completing online training when they can't attend on-site or classroom training. For job site visits where there truly isn't time to put on appropriate PPE, call the crew leader ahead of time and or flag him or her over to your vehicle so you aren't exposed to the hazards. Be fair to each other's vantage point. Supervisory staff don't desire to be unsafe or endanger their employees, yet since they aren't exposed to the hazards that often, it could be a legitimate mistake in that they simply don't believe that what they're doing is wrong. Employees aren't regularly trying to find fault in their supervision. They simply want the bosses to follow the same rules they do.
Guys, I'm so glad to finally be getting you this new piece of equipment. I hope you're as excited about getting it as I am. We've been waiting a long time. The first thing we have to do is get everyone trained on operating.
This is awesome. I'm so glad they replaced the other one.
This thing's junk. It's worse than what we had before. It guzzles gas, it's underpowered. It's nothing that we want. It's everything that he wanted. He didn't bother asking us. We just get what he needs.
Oh, I didn't know that. How'd you know so much about it anyway?
Well, I did some research on it, looked up some different brands. We could get exactly what we want and more for, a little bit more of the price, and it would last twice as long as this hunk of junk.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. I know we have a lot of work to do today, but I wanted you all out here because we're going to start a new process. From this point forward, if you're planning to get a new piece of equipment, install a new process, or change the way we do something, I want your feedback. So I need every one of you to write down what you like and dislike about the old dinosaur. Also make a wish list of what you'd like to have in a new piece of equipment because you'll be the ones using it. Now, we do have to keep the budget in mind, but more expensive features may save us money in the long run. Some things may not work with our current methods and could even make our operations unsafe. Once I have your list, I'll compile them, we'll go over them, and make sure we have a good solution. You guys do the work, and I want you involved in the purchase selections because that is paramount to safety and production.
This is another common yet rarely addressed issue that safety staff and risk management personnel see and hear on a regular basis. There are formal programs out there for prevention through design, yet there's a very simple way to incorporate it immediately into your operations. Get your employees' opinions and listen to their concerns on existing or new equipment. The time and money you save can be significant just by ensuring you purchase the right equipment, even if it's not the cheapest option up front. As you pause the video, ask employees to pick a few pieces of equipment, tools, or process machinery they operate regularly. Ask them if they would have chosen something different. Find out if they'd provide objective feedback on new purchases, if given the option. Above all, entrust them to help you make the best selections for your needs.
Hey Bruce, I need to talk
Hang
to
on
you.
1 minute, Amanda. I'm finishing up this return on investment calculation for this safety budget meeting I have this afternoon.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Amanda. What can I help you with?
Well, I came in to talk about the golf course project, but first you'll have to tell me about these.
That's a good question. Do you remember that back injury Joe had last year?
Uh-huh.
That injury not only had us down an employee for several months, but it also cost us more than $30,000.
Okay, but how would knowing the final cost have prevented that accident or convinced finance to give us more money?
That's a good question. Would this have prevented the injury? Maybe, maybe not, but it would have lessened its impact had we listened to the risk management department last year when they tried to get us to participate in the back safety and stretching emphasis program. I said no because it was going to cost us production time, and I didn't want employees in some silly exercise class that turned out to be a joke. Unfortunately, the joke was on me. In fact, after I spent a few hours with risk management, I found out that the reason our budget is hit harder every year is not just because costs go up, but because we had so many injuries.
Wow, I had no idea. You definitely need to explain that to everyone else. I am positive no one else knew any of that. We always just joke around about those bean counters downtown not caring about us. Everyone will be glad to know that's not true.
Yep, that's absolutely correct. What did you want to talk about now, Amanda?
Oh yeah, it's about the golf course project. We are going to need some extra hours. Maybe a day.
The reality is that very few people know the true cost and, more importantly, the true savings a quality safety program has been proven to provide. Every supervisor should learn about budgeting for safety. This would be a great time to discuss past injuries and how much they cost the department. Don't think only in terms of dollars, but also consider overtime pay, the progress that was likely slowed, people now doing jobs they weren't trained for, accident investigation time, and the cost to repair damaged equipment or facilities. In each of these scenarios, we tried to show some of the top examples of where supervision fails to tie safety into their operations, as well as alternatives to correct the issues. Being a good supervisor involves wearing many hats. You're not just in charge of people's lives. You're in charge of an integral component of your town's business operations. Loss control efforts have to be an equal part of those operations. We can even say that safety and operations must be balanced, in that one isn't a greater value than the other, but are equally integrated into your daily tasks in every way. Once you realize that integrating safety into your work operations is paramount to organizational success, you'll be on your way to improving your employees' health and well-being, your department's financial standing, and your entity's overall success. SURSA has included a resource guide with this video. In it, you'll find sample programs, supervisor training and improvement tips, suggested supervisory continuing education courses, and many other helpful tools. We're challenging you to always find ways to continuously improve yourself, your department, your division, and/or your town. We hope you'll take advantage of these resources, and we thank you for your time.
Hey Zach, Jimmy just got hit in the head with one of those thick security light bulbs.
That's pretty cool that Zach took responsibility for what happened to Jimmy. Could have easily blamed him.
Yeah, either way, Tom Brady's innocent.
Fire Goodell.
This actually can't wait. Basically, what at the nature trail, there's water damage. And
Stop talking to me about water damage.
It's really important, and I can't even. It's just water. This is a dangerous place without the proper equipment.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't have time. I have a bunch of candidate interviews this afternoon, but wanted to see how the project's going. The city manager wants an update by 3.
Motorcycle! Sure.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, sounds good. All right, well, thanks again.
Can we do it again? I totally forgot.
And I want your feedback on what we need to look for in the replacement. So I need every one of you. Oh.
I quit.
Bruce, I need to talk to you.
Hold on 1 second, Amanda. Finishing up this return on investment
Would you mind sharing?
calculation for my budget meeting this afternoon. Sorry about that, Amanda. What can I help you with?
Yes, Steve. Sorry.
Go ahead and keep rolling.